Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're unlocking the secrets of a fascinating translated ancient Taoist text titled Primary Health Preservation. You know that feeling when modern life just gets completely overwhelming and you kind of wonder how all that stress is actually physically affecting you? Well, this explainer is going to completely reframe how you look at your own body. We're going to explore a profound ancient philosophy that views you not just as a single person, but as a vast, bustling, microscopic universe. And more importantly, this text gives us a highly specific, rigorous guide on exactly how to protect that universe. Okay, let's dive right into this. Life and death are decided in a single thought. Now, this foundational premise from the text isn't just some pretty poetic metaphor. The ancient philosophy we're exploring today operates on the belief that every minor emotion, every fleeting worry, and every flash of anger has an immediate, physical impact on your mortality. It dictates that your internal mental state is the ultimate governor of your physical longevity. To really grasp why a single thought carries so much weight, we need to understand the true scale of what is happening inside you right now. 130 trillion? Yeah. That is a massive number. The source text describes a human being not as one single life, but as a massive conglomerate of 130 trillion individual life units, possessing nearly 10,000 distinct characteristics. You are literally a walking, breathing galaxy of microscopic lives. Your body is this deeply complex, interconnected society of units working around the clock just to keep your heart beating and your brain thinking. But here is where it honestly gets staggering. On average, from the time you're born until you reach 100 years old, 25,000 of these life units die inside your body every single minute. 25,000! And the crucial takeaway from our source text here is that this rate of death, it's not fixed. The actions you take, the food you eat, and the thoughts you think every single day dictate just how fast you lose these microscopic lives. The more units that perish, the weaker and less agile your entire life conglomerate becomes. Section 1. The Invisible Killers. Let's look at what's actually causing these units to die off prematurely. What's genuinely surprising here is the ranking. The source text explicitly lists the causes of life unit death in descending order of destructive power. You might expect diet or maybe environmental factors to be right at the top, but no. Far exceeding diet and daily routine is mental activity and emotions, our invisible internal turmoil. The text points out that while we easily recognize physical exhaustion, we completely fail to realize that countless life units die with every single fluctuation of emotion. We focus so much on the visible, but it's the invisible anxiety that is actually our greatest threat. So, what happens physically when living cells can't expel the dead ones? Well, initially they remain inside the body. Your living units try to push them out, right? But when your body is too weak to expel them, they accumulate. The text outlines the exact physical symptoms of this microscopic traffic jam. The affected areas begin to feel numb, they swell, they ache, change color, or become emaciated. This accumulation of dead units becomes a hidden danger. According to this philosophy, it is the literal root of bodily illness. Section 2. Nurturing the 4 pillars. So the really crucial point here is understanding the true definition of health preservation. The text is super clear that a skilled health preserver addresses illnesses before they ever even arise. Modern medicine often just reacts to sickness, but this ancient approach is entirely proactive. It requires constantly balancing your essence, your qi, which is your vital energy, your spirit, and your physical form. If you master these 4 pillars, you prevent those dead units from accumulating in the first place. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what happens when we fail to preserve our internal essence. The text draws direct lines between our internal organs and visible physical ailments. Failing to consolidate your liver's essence, that directly causes your eyes to lose clarity. If your spleen's essence is depleted, your teeth loosen and your hair literally falls out. This just shows how deeply interconnected the internal and external truly are. Your outer appearance is essentially just a reflection of your internal preservation. Section 3. Mastering your turbulent mind. Notice how very specific emotional extremes physically manipulate your vital energy, your qi. It's a mechanical cause and effect. Anger doesn't just feel bad emotionally, it aggressively drives your qi upwards. Sadness physically dissipates your energy. Fear causes it to sink. And look at that bottom one. Overthinking knots your qi. By dwelling on nameless worries, you are literally tying your life force into knots, making it nearly impossible for your body to heal itself. Now, the text doesn't just warn against negative emotions, it heavily warns against excessive desire and lust. Just listen to this stark, dramatic metaphor. It serves as a severe warning against sensory overindulgence. Pursuing endless desires, whether that's wealth, fame, or physical lust, secretly drains your deep vitality. It withers your bones from the inside out, silently killing your microscopic life units while you are completely distracted by the pleasure of the moment. When you contrast moderation with excess, the text introduces this really fascinating concept of bodily leakages caused by overindulgence. Basically, if you live a life of excess, your vital substances literally leak out of you. For example, the text claims that sweating while awake indicates a heart leakage, while excessive tears indicate a liver leakage. Dealing with night sweats, that's a small intestine leakage. It paints such a vivid picture. A life of excess is like a bucket full of holes, constantly bleeding out your vital energy, whereas moderation seals those holes up tightly. Section 4, the path of moderation. Let's look at some practical application. This brings us to a highly surprising piece of ancient advice. The superior sleeps alone. The text heavily prioritizes solitude for preserving your essence. It actually argues that avoiding the energetic exchange and the physical disturbances of sharing a bed is vastly more beneficial for your longevity than taking 100 medicines. It's a starkly different philosophy from our modern habits, for sure, emphasizing that quiet, undisturbed recovery is the ultimate medicine. Let's move to and see how this builds into a highly specific daily and seasonal routine. The text advises waking up at 5:30 a.m., with a strict warning to avoid anger in the morning because it deeply damages the lungs. You've got to eat before you're completely hungry and sleep exactly at 9:30 p.m. to align with the natural order of yin and yang. It even extends to the seasons, eating more sweet flavors in spring and more bitter flavors in winter. Health preservation is really all about locking yourself into the natural rhythms of the cosmos. The dietary protocol is just as strict. The text dictates a very specific eating pattern. You want a light, early breakfast, a substantial lunch, and a very small dinner. The reasoning is clear. Eating rich and greasy foods, especially late in the day, causes digestive blockages and produces phlegm. Overeating when you're extremely hungry or over-drinking when you're extremely thirsty directly injures the heart and lungs. It is all about smooth, moderate intake. Beyond diet and sleep, the text gives us a rapid-fire list of 8 specific environments you need to avoid at all costs. Dirty areas, places with excessive noise, spaces rife with arguments, or anywhere too crowded and bustling. Why? Because external chaos directly attacks your internal peace. You simply cannot maintain a tranquil mind and preserve your 130 trillion life units if your environment is constantly bombarding you with disruptive energy. Section 5, Achieving the Ultimate Goal. You see, according to this Taoist philosophy, maintaining health is merely step 1. It's just the foundation. The ultimate goals scale up dramatically from there. By maintaining health, you attain longevity. By attaining longevity, you eventually shed mortal body constraints, with the absolute ultimate goal of ascending to a celestial being, extending your life into higher spaces. So health preservation isn't just about feeling good. It's the required vehicle for spiritual ascension. Now, obviously, this journey requires immense patience, beautifully captured in this closing thought from the text. A rope can saw through wood, and dripping water can wear down stone. You don't achieve perfect health and spiritual clarity overnight. It requires consistent, gentle effort. But the promise here is that if you maintain this moderation, nature takes its course effortlessly. When water flows, channels form. When you align with a natural order, the results just happen naturally, without force. We'll leave you with this final provocative thought. The text warns that those who exhaust themselves pursuing profit and desire are sacrificing their inner universe. So, take a hard look at your modern stressors, your daily anxieties, your endless rushing, your late nights. Are they truly worth the cost of the 130 trillion microscopic lives relying on you right now? It's a heavy question, but one this ancient text demands we answer. Thanks so much for watching this explainer, and we'll see you next time.